Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Your boy's back in the building, Mr. Opinion. How you doing, Roscoe?
I am chilling. I'm hanging, man. Summertime, baby. Look like a
Let's
car show.
Hey, Freddie Fred, what up?
What's happening, guys? What's happening?
Fred, every time you get on the mic, I swear you bring my energy from like 25 down to 3. Listen, I don't need you practicing your calming techniques that you use on your daughter. I need you to get your crank, get fired up techniques. Let's go. Fucking namaste. I mean, excuse me. Let's go. Ducking namaste.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
how's your guys' summer been going? I'm just getting back in town. Glad to be back in the podcast. How are you guys doing? Y'all holding it down for me. I saw that.
Hey, man, we got to hold it down for the fellas, man. Putting out that content. And I'm happy to see you, brother. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody else in my ear to you know what I'm saying, to interact with, to get these opinions out and stuff, man. So I'm glad to see you back, brother.
All right. So let's get right into it. We got a big program ahead for you guys today, so make sure you stay locked in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely get into the comments below. We got some hot topics coming. Starting up first, the NFL, the National Football League, has suspended 4 players, right? Can we put that up on the screen? Let's get a rundown. 1 year suspensions are faced by Isaiah Rodgers, Rashad Berry, and Demetrius Taylor. Also, a 6-game suspension for Titan offensive tackle Nicholas Petit-Frere. All right. So, Roscoe, let me go straight to you. What are your thoughts on the NFL, the gambling situation in this suspension?
Well, first off, my thoughts on them suspending people for gambling is very hypocritical, simply because they have embraced the whole gambling ideology in the sports. They got FanDuel, they got all these type of things that's going on. So now you're advertising gambling, but if your players do it, it's a problem. So I really don't understand it. And another thing, how in the hell do they get caught? First off, stop going on those sites, stop doing those other things. Don't get caught, but it's hypocritical to me. So that's my opinion, brother.
Fred, what are your thoughts on this situation?
Well, we were talking before the show, and I think one thing that came up was that 4 players were suspended. 2 of these guys are from Tampa. So does Tampa, Florida have a gambling problem? I think that we need to look into that, study this.
We're the tunk capital of the world, man. Tunk capital of the
world. Seriously, do both of these guys know how to play tunk? What's your guess? Is that a generational thing? Do you think both of these guys know how to play tunk?
You have to know how to play tunk if you're from Tampa, man.
Or flip quarters.
Quarters is something, man.
No, so listen, let me just jump into a quick story. I'm not a gambler, and I don't play on the radio. But when I was a jit though, I did play flips. It was quarter games. You know what I mean? I remember earning enough money to buy $1.50 for a pizza and a drink. $1.50. That's what I need.
Those are pre-inflation prices.
$1.50 for 2 things.
Two things. $1.50. I was in the game. Now I remember when it went past that. We went past quarter games for tunk and stuff like that.
Once paper money came out. Once paper money came out, it was too rich. I can relate to that.
But I just want to say that to say this was common. You know what I mean? In Tampa, in junior high, and definitely in high school. So I wonder. I don't know if. Well, I do know actually. The Jets still be gambling.
Yeah.
So it is.
The bathroom was Vegas, man. The bathroom was Vegas, man. You go in and see dice, tongue, everything. So, but to get on them about the suspension of the players, I get it. The whole speculation of somebody that plays the game that's actually betting, that you can say they point shaving and all that stuff, and you can go a little deeper than that and the mob, but. My thing is, if you know that they're using the same platform that you're advertising, making money off of, and they just bet a couple thousand here, a couple hundred there, why are you punishing them so much? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it so harsh? What is the end game to this? How are you going to police this? You know what I'm saying, to this point to where you basically gonna make your players not want to do anything.
It's tough, and I'll say this too. The whole gambling in sports is just going to become more of an issue, right? Because, like you talked about, the relationship, these leagues have cozied up to the whole idea of gambling. I think that one thing's interesting about this. One of the stories I saw that came out of this from NBC Sports, Rogers, who's one of these 4 players, he actually won a $1,000 bet. It was a prop bet related to the over/under on his teammates' rushing performance in a game. So that makes that a little bit, a little significant, because then he is actually betting on the game that he's playing in, but they don't really impact each other. By the way, the one thing I thought that was interesting about this story is that the report from the league does not say which teammate he bet on or how he bet. It doesn't say if he took the over or the under for that 1,000-yard rushing.
I would say the under is the coach, man.
I mean, just say bet.
Well,
how he is with his money.
And Taylor could have been the over, though. I'm just saying.
It could have been, man. Maybe he was trying to hit it big.
Well,
If
go ahead.
If it was the Raiders, I knew it would have been over. But
oh God, I knew I should have jumped in on that take. I let you get that take off. I should have just jumped right in over. I knew it was gonna be some nonsense.
Boxed him out.
So my actual real take is the integrity of the game has to be protected, right? It almost reminds me of some things as a teacher can't do in public, because you have to have a certain level of respectability about yourself.
Yes, the appearance of impropriety. You don't want the appearance of
perfect. Thank you, Fred. The appearance of impropriety is very real, and it has to be taken seriously. And so being in the league means you can't gamble. Deal with it. Not in that way, right? And especially not on the books that is definitely heavily monitored and policed by not only the NFL, but also by the FBI. So it is what it is in that situation. It is what it
is, man.
If you're in Tampa, you can just go to the horse track over there by Oldsmar, and then just, you can do all your betting right there. Spend a day at the horse track.
You could. You could, actually.
I know some other spots, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
Nor should you. All right. So in other news, there's a big case that just came out today. The Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court.
I've heard of their work.
Maybe a little bit.
They overturned race-based college admissions. Now, what was interesting about them overturning, which means that if you go to college, you don't get any preferential treatment for being a minority. Now, what's interesting about this, that affirmative action was put in place due to the suffering or the lack of admission into colleges by Black people, right? But this case was overturned based on Asians who weren't even in the country in any large numbers at the time that this affirmative action decision came down. So my question to you, Fred, is, do you think the Supreme Court made the right decision in overturning a race-based college admission?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. I hate to
it's very loaded,
right? Yeah. Because here's the thing: is this is a new twist on a classic issue in the country. Is that a fair way to phrase this? So
yes,
instead of this,
tread lightly.
Yeah, I'm trying walking a tightrope.
Speak your mind, brother. Speak your mind. Speak your mind.
But I think what you see here is instead of the way that this normally portrayed to us, where it's sort of this white versus black. As a method of oppression which exists. In this particular case, you have a different minority group who is alleging that this is an unfair system to them. And there is some numbers probably in that story, definitely other stories out there that I've read to kind of lay out the case for Asian Americans. I think here's, for me, where things get complicated and muddy, is that, when you look at the United States of America, you look at the history of America, what is affirmative action supposed to do? What group, in my opinion, is it primarily designed to help? And then now you have this situation where you have people who are on the rainbow color spectrum, not the flag one, where kind of you're having these issues of what's fair for this particular group, what's fair for this particular group. I think one thing that gets really lost in the shuffle here is the need for affirmative action in the first place and where that started. That was a very real need. I think you could still argue that if you use that textbook original definition of what affirmative action was for, that's still a very real need. I mean, if the idea is that you got to help Black people for generations of America who have not always had fair looks when it gets to these institutions, then you probably need affirmative action to exist. But if it becomes a thing where you have different people, in as far as people of color as a larger group are concerned, then I don't really know how you keep affirmative action. So it's hard.
No, you breaking some very fair points. I remember looking at some statistics, and I don't have them ready to go right now. But UCLA and Harvard, particularly UCLA, they have more Asians in UCLA, one of the most prestigious universities in the world, actually, not just in the United States. They have more Asians. They have about 10,000 Asians in their population. They have about 9,000 whites, and they have about 900 Black people, right? So it's still a situation in which those race-based policies, if it is for Black people, are still needed because you still see the gap, especially considering that doesn't even cover the 13 to 15% Black 13, like actually 20 to 20%. But anyways, the 13 to 15% of the Black population that should be enrolled there. So actually, one of the things that I not necessarily like, but I would like the switch to lineage-based affirmative action that would be specific to Black people as opposed to race-based affirmative action. Any thoughts, Roscoe?
I would say that this is the start of something that's bigger than just college admission, and it's going to go in. Not, I don't. I mean, I hope it don't go to a certain point to where it's going back to making America great again like they want to. You know how that goes. But,
well, you know how Supreme Court cases. This is effectively,
yeah.
Brown versus Board was for schools,
yeah.
but it effectively eliminated segregation throughout the country.
That was my next point I was about to go to. So now, if that's the case because it's part of education, so the Brown versus Board, and now, so are you saying that we really don't need it anymore because you guys are well represented and you have this, you have that, so you don't need it anymore? But as we clearly see that the racism still exists in this country heavily, and a lot of people will say that, oh, it's 2023, why we still having that? I don't care what the year is, you know what I'm saying? It's still going to be there until a lot of people change their mindsets on it. But the whole affirmative action thing, man, it's a slippery slope on both ends. Because if it was affecting me, I wouldn't want to be a part of school simply because I'm Black. You know what I'm saying? Because you need that number.
Roscoe, can you flip me over to the screen? I want to pull up these statistics. This is UCLA admissions, as you can see, 11,000 Asians, 1,500 Americans. So I was off on that. 8,000 Hispanic and 12,000 white. So one of the groups that have benefited the most from diversity, now that they've got in, they went to the Supreme Court to
say, "Hey, man, get rid of it now." But that was my next thing. Like, okay, the whole people of color thing, because they put everybody in there, even white women in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how they became minorities, but they did. So now everybody is benefiting off of the Black folks back, and then going in there and say, "No, we don't need it anymore because it's obsolete." Which it's a slippery slope to where it's going to go a little bit deeper than what we wanted to go, since this political cycle is coming on now, and we're going to see a lot more of it. And they're going to bring this up. Hear what I'm saying? They're going to bring this up in all the debates, talk about reparations, talking about all that other stuff. So, yeah, man, just be prepared. That's all I got to say.
Well, and I want to throw in there, because one of the most interesting things about this whole story to me is, again, that this is from the perspective of Asian Americans, which are dominating the population as far as the people of color spectrum, if you use that kind of terminology, is concerned, according to this, this is a different school. This is UCLA, but still. Yeah. And then what we're seeing is Asian Americans are then saying, hey, it's not fair to give preferential admission to black people. I think that's one thing that's fascinating about this, because as you hear people talk about, like you said, like, is this bringing MAGA back and all of these things? And I think in America, we like to think as race issues being black against white. That is, 1,000% not the case in America.
Yeah.
That is not how racism looks in this country. It actually comes from all different directions and all directions. Actually, it goes up, it comes down, it goes sideways. You don't know where it's
all directions.
It's the American way.
Yeah, very American.
Absolutely. Great topic, great insight, fellas. Let us know what you think in the comment below. How do you feel? Where do you land on the affirmative action? Should it have been? What are the implications moving forward of this topic specifically? Don't forget, while you're at it and leaving that comment, to like, share, and subscribe to keep this thing going. We're dropping content like this that you ain't gonna get nowhere else.
You get it like that.
You know what I mean? Let's jump into the next topic. It's the days of summer, and when we talk about the days of summer, we have to talk about baseball. Yeah, talk about baseball.
True.
All right, so I'm gonna give a rundown of ESPN's top 5, right? And then I'm gonna jump to you, Fred, for your take on this. All right, here we go. Diamondbacks at number 5. Then we have Baltimore Orioles. They're at number 4. Texas Rangers, they're at number 3. The Atlanta Braves are at number 2. And then you have the Rays at number 1, who just actually beat the number 5 team and the number 3 team recently in series. So, Fred, what are your takes?
Well, it's dream season for me because I am a Rays fan and I am a Braves fan. And those are currently the best teams in the American and National Leagues, respectively. So I'm enjoying it. I think anyone who is not, who doesn't only get their news from social media timelines and things like that, they know that the Rays are the best team in baseball. So from that perspective, these power rankings don't surprise me. I am happy to see that the Braves have seemed to figure some things out there. I think baseball is always better when the Braves are competing, when they're one of the top teams. Of course it is, because they're America's team and everyone really knows it. And then the rest of those teams on that list, I think there's the Diamondbacks, the Orioles, and someone else. And I've heard of those teams. I guess they do play Major League Baseball. But, who cares? Because the Rays and the Braves are the top 2 teams in the power rankings. So I guess the rest of you guys can kind of suck it. So,
Roscoe, what are your takes?
My take is this, man, that the team that's number 1, that's the only one that really matters to me, because I am a Rays fan. Just like Fred said, I am a Braves fan too, somewhat, but I am a Rays fan. But the team that really missed the cut was like the New York Knights. I really saw them play. They were pretty good on that. And,
hey, this isn't the natural, bro.
You sure?
This ain't the natural.
You telling me the New York Knights is not good?
I'm saying this ain't the natural.
Oh, okay. My fault. I'm sorry. My bad. You know what I'm saying?
Fred,
okay. But
all right, go to
no,
Fred.
For real. My real take though. A team that's slowly climbing up the charts, that's really putting people in the game. They got this young guy, Kelly Leak. He's pretty good. They brought him in. He's rides
his dirt bike to the practice. I've heard.
Kelly Leak showed up, man. Then they got this girl. They got a girl picture.
Yeah, I know.
My goodness, you know what I'm saying?
If you know the name of the girl pitcher, leave it in the comments below, or the team that Kelly Lee's played for.
I'm telling you, man.
Without googling it.
Oh, man, you guys are going to use Google. Don't lie.
All right. Is there any team that you would say that is kind of shocking, is not at least in the top 10?
No, not really.
The Bad News Bears.
Honestly, I only really paid attention to the Rays and the Braves, and I saw those two, and I was like, wow, this list is complete. I cannot confirm or deny if the other teams on the list are actually Major League Baseball teams.
All right, so I just have one quick take, because I'm gonna throw it at you. When you get it, you're gonna be like, okay, what am I doing? The Anaheim Angels.
Oh yeah. What am I doing? So yeah. Actually, Mr. Opinion brings up a really good point here, right? Because on this same list, which I wasn't following all the way down, but I did notice this earlier. So with a record of 44 and 38, right? So That's what, like 6 games above 500, I think, somewhere around there. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, they're in 12th place in these MLB power rankings by ESPN. And I just want to say that they have 2 of the best players in baseball, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. And Ohtani's putting up numbers that have not been seen in like over a century. And the Angels somehow found their way into the top 15 of the MLB power rankings in 2023 with 2 guys who are world-class talents. So, every few years it comes up like, are they going to move the Tampa Bay Rays away from Tampa? And what are they going to do with this team? And I just want to say that maybe it's time to start looking at Anaheim and send them to Montreal to play baseball, because they clearly suck in California.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how this joke of a franchise still exists. I really don't get it. But yet I got to hear every few years about how the Rays are on the chopping block. It just doesn't make sense.
I want to say, for completely selfish reasons, I would love for the Rays to move to Montreal.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
for you, yeah.
You can root for the Montreal Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
For me, they're right under the Rockford Peaches. So,
All right,
it's really up to them. You know what I'm saying?
Roscoe's on one today, and we're loving it. You don't get this kind of content nowhere else. Where are you going to hear about the Rockford Peaches other than 4th in the game? Come on now. Come on.
And Bingo Long and the All-Stars are really looking up at us like, hey, but we on our way. We traveling.
We traveling.
Traveling.
Right. Let's move. Speaking of traveling, let's move to our next topic, which is
these kids aren't traveling.
What you see here is these young kids, and you can see they have these different press-on tattoos. Where do you guys stand with these young people? Having these tattoos at such young ages. They're about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Or what age would you allow your child, or would you think would be okay for a child to get a real tattoo? I'll start with Roscoe, since he has a million and one opinions right now.
Look, man, it's like this here. All right.
Talk to me.
So these kids, for them to get these Lee press-on tattoos, man, you know what I'm saying? It gives them a sense of, you know what I'm saying, like camaraderie and, you know what I'm saying, and team and all that good stuff. And it looks cool, and they balling, as you can see from the clip, that they are good at what they do. And as long as it's temporary, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? They look like they're very expensive, but who cares? This cat had on 2 different pair of Jordans in one of the clips. So I'm saying it's not too much because they're kids and they're enjoying it, you know what I'm saying? But the age, I would say that I would let my kids personally get a tattoo is about 35. When they have experienced some life and gone through some things, and they not wanting just a unicorn under the ear, or something that they seen on TV. Because if I let my son right now get a tattoo, it's going to be of a Power Ranger, or you know what I'm saying. It's going to be Henry Danger or something like that. You know what I'm saying. Imagine a 35-year-old man with Henry Danger tattooed on.
He's gonna be like, my dad hate me.
Why did he let me get the red Power Ranger jumping off my neck? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would he do that? So I say no. Wait till they get 40. When you grown enough to pay a mortgage, then you can get as many tattoos as you want, my friend.
Fred, what is your thoughts?
I don't know the correct age to allow your kid to have a tattoo, right? I don't think anyone knows this. I do know that one time when I played youth football in Tampa, a guy on the other team,
the Vikings suck.
I was for the Vikings, and a guy from the Steelers showed up, and we were about 13, and he had a beard. So
that was a grown
I don't
man.
know what the age to let your kid get a tattoo is, but I do know that 13 is too young to let your kid have a full grown beard and play against my youth football team. So that's really the only thing that I have to say about that. Just make sure your kid's shaving. If he's got a beard coming in at 13, he has a youth football game the next day. Just make him take it down so the other kids feel safer.
Hey, Drew, how old were we? We were like, what, 14 or 13? We played for the Spartans in basketball, and them grown men
Yeah,
stepped
from
on the
Atlanta.
court.
That.
Them grown men from Atlanta showed up. It was like they
drove
drove
to
up.
the game. Yeah.
They drove up. I saw one of them, like, he was changing his shoes in the park through his square. He flipped his cigarette, was like, all right, let's go, Redman. Get in there, get these young boys. Like,
Was he
everybody
too
there
young to have a
was,
tattoo? Was that man too young to have a tattoo?
yes.
Yes.
According to the rules, we was what, 11, 12 years
Yeah,
old?
we was jits.
And they drove down from Atlanta. Imagine grown men driving a 10-hour drive from
It's a long
Atlanta to
drive.
play youth league basketball. It's not that serious.
They must have wanted a piece of y'all bad.
It's bad. You hear me? Because
somebody was gambling on the game. It was
somebody
Tampa.
was gambling. There it is. That is
Like I heard there's a good
somebody was
gambling. There's a good
gambling.
gambling scene in Tampa. Let's go here and take these kids' money.
He's like, look, we got somebody for these boys.
Oh man.
Championship game. That was the championship game.
Yeah. Like they called the adult league champs to come down here and play us.
I mean, hey, man, maybe you guys just stepped up. Maybe you had played up to that level where the adults were the only ones who could come in and beat you.
That game was
From
so
Atlanta.
ridiculous, man. It was to the point where we're sitting there like, man, I'm not playing this. I'm not stepping. Why would I step out of the court to this? That's pointless.
It really was pointless, and this is pretty much what the game looked like.
Yeah.
So there's a clip that I'm going to show right now of you guys got to check it out, and we'll comment on it afterwards.
Oh yeah,
let's give it a go.
Let's just watch it. This is beautiful.
get it out of here. He said stop though. He told him to stop, and he even
Legit mad. Look at
put
it.
his chest out, swung on him.
I'd like to see that.
Oh.
Not out of here again. I'm not gonna let you do this.
Ooh.
Good laugh too, Pops. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, Dad.
Come here, Dad.
Come on, Dad. Unsuspecting father.
Hey, son, how can I help you?
Son, you need me?
Oh, what do you want?
Oh, yeah! I'm
You've been serving this.
in the face.
I've been sitting on this, waiting to serve it to you. Yeah. And he came back and did it.
About.
Ooh, yeah, he's doing lots of
man.
celebrations. Lots of celebrations.
That was beautiful.
That was good, man.
beautiful,
He hooked that up. He had the camera positioned at a good spot. His dad came in being all helpful, being all being a supportive father, and then he was like, "Take this face full of basketball." And that's what you get, man. That's what happened.
I mean, just imagine you getting your comeuppance and your get back.
Oh yeah,
and got it on camera, man. That is beautiful. Being a little brother myself, I can see the greatness. I can feel that young man's pride when he dunked on his pops.
But the thing that set it off for me is this ain't even a grown man getting his get back. He's been plotting this for a while.
Aiden was fed up. Aiden had it up to here. That's what I'm going to say right now. Aiden had it up to here.
In the world of social media,
take it.
In the world of social media, this has been happening. He's been watching that clip of getting dunked on, or getting his balls slapped every day. His dad showing it to him. When we was kids, we didn't have that. We was all we didn't have the memory of it, seeing it every day of our life. But he saw it.
You could at least say, "Nah, man, you didn't."
It wasn't that bad.
You didn't block my shot. You didn't block my shot.
Like I can see my son doing this to me later in life. I'm in 80 years old in my diapers, but he ain't gonna never dunk on me as a adolescent.
Yeah, he executed that payback dunk well. I think that was the best way you can do it when you're that little.
Look, there ain't no flagrant fouls in my house. If you dunk on me like that, we fighting, bro.
Nah, you got to push him. When you turn around and see him in the air, just push him just in case. And figure it out from there.
That's what the dress is there for.
No, I 100% agree, fellas. It should have been some retribution, but the dad took it well. Shout out to him. Yeah. Shout out to Aiden for the plot. But I got another question for y'all, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Billboard. The world famous Billboard, known for billboarding things. They came out with their top 50 greatest rap groups of all time. If we could put that up on the screen, here you go.
Oh boy.
Number 20, UGK. Let me go through the top 5. You can see it on the screen right now and read through it. But at number 1, they have Outkast. Number 2, Wu-Tang. Number 3, NWA. Number 4, Tribe Called Quest. 5, Run DMC. And even 6, Public Enemy. And you can really see a New York bias in this, even Salt and Pepper. But the
Mobb Deep is number 13.
But number 1 for sure, The top three at least represents East Coast, the South,
Uh-huh.
and West
West
Coast,
Coast.
right? So it really does give it from the top three perspective. Around roundabout. I guess my question is, what are your thoughts on this list? And do you have any opinions about whether who's missing, who you would change, who you would add? Just let's go through a quick round of just those quick answers. Then we'll come back and go deep dive into these questions.
I would say that the list itself is hogwash. I'm gonna get this list off the screen real quick because I'm tired of seeing that.
Stupid.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep
put
it
it
up
back
there.
up,
So
put it back
I'm
up,
gonna put it back up there because
Stupid list.
it's some people that I see that is left off this list. Like, first off, G Unit is not a group, like a real traditional rap group. Eric B and Rakim, only one person really rap. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, you put Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff.
They were
which we're
good.
not gonna do. They were good, but we're not gonna do that. A group that I say that is left off, that gets no respect, is Goody Mob. I might be a little biased, but I say the Goody Mob is
True.
one of the premier groups up there. Another group that I say that changed the culture of rap, you know what I'm saying, that did things a little different, Digital Underground. Did a whole different, they had a whole different vibe. They just put Tupac out there, people. You know what I'm saying? So this list, the top three, I agree with the top three. Except for I might switch NWA because they only had like real 2 albums, but I would say the top two, yeah, I can see.
Oh, wait. I thought you meant you'd switch NWA with Wu-Tang.
No.
Well, we talk about cultural impact.
Yeah. I mean, you could
They're
argue
in the Hall of Fame.
if you're talking about cultural impact, NWA might be number one, and that's coming from someone who is an Outkast fan. So I like seeing Outkast number one. I happen to believe that they are the best group. However, NWA is certainly number two because culturally, did any other rap group have such an impact on rap music? Well, one that's missing is Two Live Crew because
that's what I was about to say.
Two Live Crew fought all the way up to the Supreme Court to have permission to make the music and produce the music that they were putting out. They're not even on this list, which is of course insane. I also think another group that is underrated overall, because since Roscoe took Goody Mob from me, I think one group that's underrated overall and should definitely be on this list is the Dog Pound. The Dog Pound, I mean, maybe they didn't have a bunch of albums, but that one album that they had, Dog Food, was great. And I mean, on this list you have people like Migos is number 11. The Roots are a good rap group, but I've never heard someone say, "Oh yeah, the Roots are like a top 10 rap group." I just feel like this whole list is out of whack. It's kind of crazy. The Goody Mob thing is egregious. The Ghetto Boys was someone that I heard someone mention earlier. That's a group that should be on here. There's all kinds of things missing. I always listen every time they make one of these lists. Anytime, just run. Don't open it. Don't look at it. It's only there to make you mad. It's not. It's not going to make you happy. No one's ever looked at one of these lists and been like, "Oh, I'm so glad I read that."
But on the flip side of that, Fred, I would say that the list does make you mad, but it makes you have a conversation about music that you love. And since it's the 50-year anniversary of hip hop and all that stuff. So, but a group that I see that has been left off, that a lot of people disrespect, that changed the culture of rap, changed the culture of America, period, right?
Crisscross.
Hell no. Damn, Crisscross.
It will make you jump. Daddy Mac will make you jump.
They had a big cultural impact on me. I remember,
I understand on you because I remember you used to wear your clothes backwards before Crisscross.
Because Inside Out was wiggity, 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 whack. What you said. That's what you told us.
Go ahead.
The group that I say, Kid and Play.
Another bad creation. I agree.
Kid and Play. Listen to what Kid and Play had. Hairstyles, people wearing flat tops. They had their own dance. They made a cult classic movie. Had a cartoon.
Movies, multiple.
Yeah, multiple movies. So they had. I wouldn't say that they was like top 5, but they need to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Show some type of respect. EPMD is not in there, which is very disrespectful.
Run the Jewels is not in there, and I think Run the Jewels has had 4 fantastic albums back to back.
They probably
let me ask y'all 40. This. Well, Run the Jewels is trash. But let me ask you this though.
That's
With
very
the
unfair. I just want to say that's unfair because you can't say that and then move on like you said a fact because you didn't say a fact. You said a wrong thing.
well, shout out to Brandy who's saying that Kim Play should be on the list. One of the things that I do want to speak on is would the Hot Boys be on this list?
It's fair.
But
because we talk about cultural impact and people in the group. They're similar to NWA, if you ask me.
But that's the same as saying G Unit being on it. You know what I'm saying?
Because they were actual group.
There was a collection of rappers, not like a group.
Because if that's the case, then you can say like the Flavor Unit, you know, with Tribe and Jungle and De La all together. You know what I'm saying?
Or the case I made earlier is that I think Method Man and Redman constitute one rap group, and they should be on that list because they've got bangers as a pair of rappers.
But they never came off as being rappers. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, How High on the Show soundtrack was like one of the greatest East Coast songs of all time, in my opinion.
Rockwater is one of the best songs ever.
Yeah, has that song ever come on and people didn't dance to it? So, I mean, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know.
But I would just say the only difference that I just say about the Boys, they actually had an album. You know what I mean? That went number one. That was actually a group album. It wasn't just their individual solo stars.
You're sitting in your car and you need something to jam. Are you putting on Salt and Pepper or are you putting on Method Man and Redman?
I'm putting on the Hot Boys. We on fire. You know what I mean?
You're putting on Crisscross. We've already established that.
And ABC. ABC. Another bad creation.
ABC. You got to.
Well, they were good. ABC was on.
So, is Heavy D the Boys a group?
We didn't even say Bone. What's up?
Kinda. When you think about the kind of music Heavy D and the Boys, when you think about the kind of music they were making, I mean, Heavy D was the rapper, but the Boys, they were doing some stuff.
Yeah. The Boys were
Heavy D and my boy. But listen, shout out to Heavy D and the Boys. But y'all remember that joke when we was jits. But one of the things I do definitely want to mention, I think this is a couple levels, right? It's either about group rapping as a group, and it's about cultural impact. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think Wu-Tang, they have a lot of albums. They do have major cultural impact. NWA does not have a lot of albums, but they do have a lot of cultural impact in terms of, you know, being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but actual cultural impact and the people that came out of that group. That's what kind of made me think of the Hot Boys. And you have Outkast, who've just been a group and have nothing but classic albums that are respected all over the world. So
can't miss.
Definitely so. All right. Now, let's move on to our question of the week. Roscoe, what you got for us?
The question of the week is your top 3 rap groups of all time.
That's the question? Oh, God. I thought you was going to say something about Zion.
Well, okay. I'll flip it. I will flip it. I'll flip it.
Or not even Zion.
No. I got this here. How much money would it take for you to let your significant other sleep with somebody else?
Wow.
In the same bed?
There's no setup for this question or anything. It just comes right out of the blue, huh? Wow.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, how much? If not none at all, then
Can you throw in some context for this question, Mr. Opinion? What happened? What happened this week to make Roscoe ask us this question?
Mr. Opinion, please tell us what happened this week.
All right. So there's a podcaster named Adam22 has a famous show called No Jumper, right? And on this podcast called No Jumper, he mentioned that his wife, who's a film star, mostly does movies for adults.
All of her films are for adults.
All right, cool. All the films for adults.
He does films for adults.
I don't know. But
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
But so in that circumstance, she, after they got married, hadn't done any films with anyone else other than her husband on the podcast. So he said this week, she actually did it already. She shot a film with another man, right? And I imagine, I don't know how much money these people make. Apparently, there's a person who made $20 million doing movies on apparently.
Yeah,
But I imagine the price
Mostly for adults. Is that the movie you're
Mostly
talking
for
about?
adults,
Mostly for
yeah.
adults. Okay.
yeah, mostly for adults.
Got it.
And in that process of doing mostly for adult movie, she said she made $20 million a year. Now, I imagine this
she doing
person,
20 million.
well, just my idea of how most of this stuff works. Most of them don't make that kind of money, right? It's mostly like a $5,000, $3,000, $10,000. You're not getting really $20,000, right? To do these movies. So the question is, how much would you take for your wife to show a movie?
I would say this, man. First off, it's a loaded question because if I say none, then I let her do it for free, right? You see what I'm saying? The catch 22.
Adam 22. That's what it's facing.
There it is. But I would think that if my significant other was in the industry, so let's put that scenario out there, because if my wife now, no, hell no, like that's gonna be a huge problem. But if she was in the industry and that's what she did, it's gonna have, and she stopped doing it because she married me, then I have to be, what I'm saying, that understanding guy. I would say at least 20 million. Because if somebody's
Per
making
movie?
20, if somebody's making $20 million a year to do that on film, by God, go get that money. You know what I'm saying? And we could do we'll solve that problem later. But go get that money.
Fred, do you have any quick thoughts?
No, I have no thoughts on this at all. As a matter of fact,
Stop being scared, man. Say what you want to say.
I don't want to say anything. I just literally said what I wanted to say.
I do have a thought, actually.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think it's only a tough question because for me, it's easily a no because I didn't marry anyone in that industry, like you said. Right? So with that being said, if I was somebody in the industry and if I decided to marry someone in the industry, knowing that they were in the industry while I was married with them, I think it's kind of hypocritical and foolish for them not to continue their career. Like, we don't live in a world where, I mean, I don't know how much he makes as a podcaster or what else he does, you know what I mean? But I can't imagine that's enough. And if it was enough, I would say he probably wouldn't be agreeing to it.
Yeah.
With the current income and the things that they're doing, if it was enough, I think he would continue not agreeing to it. But I think after a 7-year span, they've landed on, hey, we need to get some shmoney.
Yeah.
And they made that decision. So I'm saying is you wasted 7 years of decisions that, I mean, if you're going to get somebody in the industry, then that's what you go with. So for me personally, no, but I'm not in the industry, so it's easy to say. And I didn't marry anyone in the industry. So it's even if it,
But look, here's the deal.
I caught with too many words in my mouth.
If you're out there, if you're watching, you're listening, if you're watching it later, you put your comments in what you think about that situation. Another thing that we just set an example for, right? Okay, because it was last week or 2 weeks ago, we was talking about Zion and his situation with the adult, mostly adult actor.
Because he's doing other things we don't know. We don't know.
And a lot of people are chastising him. A lot of people getting on his case, and it's a double-edged, you know what I'm saying, like a double-edged sword to that, because we clown on them like, look, but what you doing? You know, with the mostly adult actor, and she got made a song. She did all types of wild stuff. Like, she is really after this dude, Street Clothes Zion. So it's crazy how we can have this conversation about this dude podcasting his wife and how much money she's making, and clown Zion for falling in love with her. You know what I'm saying?
And he married one. He married her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He married one, and we clown Zion for even being associated with one.
I want to say also, for the record, I got way more jokes that's not appropriate for this podcast.
Yes.
So it wasn't. It's not that I got jokes for it, but on the internet, you're absolutely right. They're not going hard at this dude in the same way and everybody just as famous. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. This Adam 22 guy, he's a popular podcaster who gets a lot of views. Nah, he's pretty popular, Fred.
Yeah.
Like no
Yeah,
joke.
but he's also lame, and I think that when someone's lame, that you just don't have the same expectations for them necessarily. You don't,
Apparently
you're
Zion's
judging.
pretty lame. I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah,
Like,
but Adam 22 can't dunk like Zion can. That's all I
Zion
know.
can't dunk like Zion can no more, man.
He can
Zion,
he can dunk in some jeans. I'm pretty sure he can
look,
dunk in jeans.
he dunking on the wrong things. That's his problem.
all his
yeah, those donuts
Yeah.
going straight to his belly.
Chase dunks.
He's dunking on the wrong thing. His second to the last pump is the worst.
Whoa.
Absolutely, fellas. Absolutely. Now, great topic today. Let's get the real meat of this program. Pause. And,
Big pause.
and
The meat of this program.
let's get into
This
things that
program's
matter
meat.
to us. All right. So these are the days of summer, Fred. What's mattering to you right now?
Maybe some people know this, some people don't.
I don't know it.
I'm a fan of learning more about animals that maybe do or don't exist. I think cryptozoology is what they call it.
Yeah.
And just last week, me and Roscoe, we were here and we were making a whole show, and Mr. Opinion was nowhere to be found, and it's because he was out hiking with his wife in the mountains of California. So the thing that has been on my mind all week is, did you see Sasquatch out there? Is he real? Did you find evidence of Bigfoot out in the California mountains?
Nice.
I'm gonna say I did see a lot of merchandise that had Bigfoot on it,
But no actual physical Bigfoot.
but I did not actually see Bigfoot, but I did see evidence of him through the merchandise that they were highly selling. So,
If you had run across Bigfoot in the woods on one of these forested trails, and he had pulled out a deck of cards and offered to play you Tunk, but you could only use $5 bills, what would you have said?
I would have had a walk-off challenge with him and see who could walk on the most ganabs and nonsense.
No, wait, man. Bigfoot is the answer. I mean, he walks around everywhere. What are you talking about? He lives in those mountains.
His name is
No
Bigfoot.
chance.
I don't know.
One step for him is like 1 1/4 steps for you, because your feet are also
I'm just talking
pretty
about
big.
who can walk on the most nonsense and still have their feet intact. It was a bit of walk-off.
Oh, no, he wins. He wins, bro. He's Bigfoot.
I think
100%.
Mr. Opinion might give him a go, because I've seen this dude walk on glass.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's got some tough souls.
So is Bigfoot? Does he have like just one big ass foot?
That would be
Or
weird.
is it like both his feet big? So it'd be big feet, or is it like just one big ass foot, and one regular size foot? You know what I'm saying?
That would be weird. I agree. Why is it just Bigfoot and not big feet? And then, is Bigfoot real? What do you think, Mr. Opinion? Is Bigfoot a real? Is this a real animal, or is this something that is made up in popular culture?
If you ask my opinion on Bigfoot, which you just did,
I did. I definitely did that. Thanks. Thanks for recapping.
I would say it's definitely it's a possibility. I don't think nothing's outside the realm of possibility. So I don't know or not know, and I don't have a strong opinion either way. But I open myself up to the possibility it could be real.
We got Roscoe's Bigfoot real.
I think Bigfoot is not real, but I think somebody mistook somebody else in the woods.
It would have been me.
Yeah, and because back in the day, it wasn't a lot of people walking around in the woods. They probably gutted a moose or something and wore his, to keep warm, and probably had some big ass feet, and probably made some gargling noises because his throat was sore from being sick and walking around on ganabs all day. So
all right, so let me jump in on this because I actually have a thought on this now. I have a thought.
You have a real thought now?
I got a real thought. Well, I had a thought before, but
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
This is the area where I don't know if you guys know the story about Donner's Pass.
Yes.
The Donner Party was a
Yeah.
group of people who was, they struck out late to cross the High Sierra Mountains in order to get to California.
Risky.
Through this crossing, because they went late in winter, early winter.
Risky.
And you normally don't do that because it's cold.
'Cause it's risky.
It's still so cold to this point. Some of the highways that pass through the Sierras today are closed off because the weather gets so cold. So we're in late, June? One of the passes still isn't open yet because it's that much snow. right? So this isn't like a thing you want to do. The one I passed through was actually open, right? So I say that to say they could have thought they saw one as they was being, because people were being eaten, and they were like, because they ate each other.
Yeah, it wasn't a Bigfoot
like,
eating
you
those
know
guys.
what?
That was
Yeah,
each
I was
other. That was
Bigfoot.
a
I was wondering how
So-
you
That was-
detect this.
That was like Richard. That was Richard, the guy who was just walking behind you on the
Yeah.
trail a few minutes ago. That's who that was. That ate you. That was
Maybe
definitely
that's
not
where they
Bigfoot.
came up with Bigfoot. Hey, they were
Henry,
telling our
Henry, is
children,
that you with my leg?
what happened to my dad? Man, Bigfoot, they got him. And they just,
Yeah,
Might be where
okay.
Bigfoot started.
because most
I
of
like
the
how you
survivors of the
connected that. That
Donner's Pass
that was good.
were
I like
children. So you're like, what happened to you with your parents? Man, Bigfoot took your dad. dog.
Bigfoot eating,
Yep.
you know.
So let me see if I could pull up a quick video.
No, we don't want to look at Bigfoot video.
No, not from Bigfoot, from Donner's Pass.
We don't
Oh,
want to see.
even worse.
Yeah.
Let me see. Nah, I don't got a quick video that I'm ready to
Okay.
show, but I'll show a picture. Let me see.
So-
Go ahead, Ross.
So, Mr. Opinion, I guess this Bigfoot topic has really got you enthralled, huh?
I wish I would have known this was going to work out so well. I would have asked this already. I would have asked this before.
He has pictures of. Never mind.
He's looking for Donner's Pass and everything, man. He's trying to
Well,
find
while are you looking for it?
I'm ready.
some
Okay.
people roasting human femurs on the fire, all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
Now I just wanted to
Ooh.
show some
Does it
just
smell like
some,
pretty.
burnt hair?
just some pictures from my trip and my journey. This is the
Oh,
only
so you
picture.
took this
This
picture.
is what you care about.
Yeah, this is what I
Yeah.
care about. I
Oh,
can set
that's a
off
That's a decent picture.
I have some amazing pictures on here, but I'm not ready to open up and just open
Uh-oh.
all of them. at
All
once.
right. Slow down there, Tiger.
Yeah.
Slow down there, Tiger. I don't want to know what's on your
We
camera
don't want
roll.
to see those pictures, bro.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I'm not going through the camera roll, but I
Jeez.
would.
Family show, Mr. Opinion.
It's gonna stay that way, but because I'm not Adam 22. Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
No
But-
one's accusing you of that.
Nah, but I had a great time in High Sierras, Lake Tahoe. One of the things I really was excited about was going to Hell's Kitchen. You guys seen the TV show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Adam Ramsey, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah.
Hell's Kitchen is a really popular show, and they always have the same foods that they're making: steak, halibut. All right, cool. And in that process, I always wanted to taste what this food tasted like. So being able to go to the show, tasting the food was really fantastic, and the food was like crazy expensive. This is probably the most expensive meal, which is my question to you all. What is the most expensive meal you ever paid for with just you and your wife? Because I want to say this to say we paid $350 for this meal.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, no way, man. That's way higher than mine. I don't know. I don't know what mine is. It probably consisted of a lot of different seafood, some fresh stuff, some oysters, some stuff like that. But it would have been certainly no more than $150.
Well,
But I'm a simple common man. So
no.
You are pretty simple.
I have.
Minded.
I have. Well, are we saying just one meal like at that sitting or like?
Yeah, that's it. Because I was thinking about,
Okay.
I think I've spent more money in group outings in different settings, in different
Yes.
places. You know what I mean? But just like one meal that you
Just
kinda
two
sitting
people.
down, two people.
Because
Yeah.
like you say, you prefaced it with just one meal because I was about to say, I've over a course of a date night,
Mm-hmm.
it meals, those things.
Yeah.
They add up quick. That's why you decided to get married. And that's a
an
reason
extra
to get
mean,
married.
sandwich here and there. Right.
I
You know how you do
it.
I don't think I've. You said 350. I don't think I spent 350. I know it's close to that. I don't know the exact number.
The
That's
number,
why I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
hemming and
Well,
hawing, but
I would
it's-
just say
it's close
too
to
that I would just say too that this was a resort town. It was
yeah.
it's a popular TV show. It's like one of those things
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's like going to Disney World, right? It's like one of the things that you'll do. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm adding another
So-
kind of cool thing.
You're paying for the name.
You're paying for the name. You're paying for it's broadcast, international TV, all this stuff, right?
Okay.
One of the things that was super interesting, we stayed in a hotel that was literally on the borderline between California and Nevada. The reason why that's interesting, Nevada is a gambling state. So you had a street that was the borderline between the state. Right on the other side of that border, you had all the gambling spots,
Wow.
the what's they called, casinos and stuff
Yes,
like
that
that.
is what they call them. Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his
It's
name.
usually what they call gambling spots.
Yeah, some of them just called gambling spots. I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Y'all just call it a gambling
Yeah, we
spot.
call it
Big
the
smoke,
gambling
gambling spot.
Yeah, the gambling house, the
Come to the
spot.
gambling
You know,
spot.
like, so, but anywho, I just thought that was really cool to literally be on the border, like right between the state. I just step outside my hotel, and next thing you know, I'm in a different state.
So
Even though I didn't
straddle the
gamble
line?
anything, but
Did you straddle the line to do the whole dad?
nah,
joke?
it was a full street. It was a street. I
Oh.
ain't, I couldn't straddle that far.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's probably a point that straddles, but I never straddled.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways.
Well, the
Go ahead,
thing
Sandwich
that
King.
the thing
Yeah, what matters to you?
that matters to me, as you can see, my name changed. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
I changed it to the Sandwich King because
Sandwich.
sandwich. Because last week I went on a whole rant about sandwiches and stuff.
You
man.
gave us some good info about sandwiches. I thought about sandwiches a lot after that conversation.
And since then, I've had several people, from my tens of viewers, several people reach out to me talking about, have I had this sandwich? Have I had that sandwich and stuff? So I have a list of places that I need to go check out to get sandwiches from. So for the next couple of days, I will be visiting these spots. This place called Potbellies.
Can you go live while you're doing that and just
I
do
will
a quick
certainly
live?
go live and eat sandwiches for
Can
the
we call it
masses.
Roscoe's Summer Sandwich Tour?
I will call it Roscoe's
Ooh.
Summer Sandwich Tour and trademark, all that good stuff.
I would listen to you talk about sandwiches. I don't know if I'd watch you eat them like while in the act of eating them, but I'll certainly listen to your opinions on them.
I'm going to cut it off as I eat because I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You got to buy the
sandwich
a
juice
good
all
sandwich
over
will
your
make you
face.
close your eyes. You know what I'm saying? When you bite it.
I would want to see that actually. A grown man.
I can go into the sandwich eating etiquette. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into that. I'll save it for Roscoe's Sandwich Summer Tour. Also got McAllister's Deli. I heard that was a good spot.
Oh yeah, it is good. I've been to McAllister's.
Then,
They're okay.
I want to go back to Wright's Deli. I'm going to Elise Bakery. I haven't had a sandwich from Elise Bakery in forever.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Elise. I'm going all over I'm summer tour. I'm eating sandwiches. Coming to a station near you. Check me out.
This station actually.
You gotta
subscribe.
You gotta mix in the random sub from Publix, man, because Publix, everyone doesn't have Publix, and so most people in the country don't really understand what a treat a Publix sandwich is. So
that was
maybe
going
you gotta
to be the first one.
Yeah, for sure, man. Publix is a sandwich institution. People don't think it. They think it's a grocery store.
No,
but it's the house that sandwich built.
It's a big delicatessen that you can buy other stuff at.
Is the fried chicken still good at Publix?
Yes.
Of course it is. What kind of question is that?
I don't know. It's been
nonsense.
I'll backhand you, boy.
Even their chicken tenders taste like their fried chicken, which is
that's impressive.
Both of them are delicious. I know.
That's
It's crazy.
Impressive.
Publix is so
chicken tenders
great.
suck as a record label.
Normally, but not at Publix. They taste magical.
They're great.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
So,
fellas,
yes,
we made it
live for 2-5, baby.
Live for 2-5, fourth in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for sticking with us this far. Everybody, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Share it on your socials. Share it on your Twitter. Share it on your Facebook. Or wherever you share these kind of things that are made for sharing. What you want me to do? All right.
Talk bad about us, all that good stuff.
All that good stuff. Make sure you comment below. You see Roscoe at one of the sandwich spots. Make sure you tune in for that series coming up, the Summer Sandwich Tour. You know what I mean?
Day.
It's going to be live. Fred, any shout outs on your way out the door?
No, I just want to shout out Sasquatch, man. If you're watching, make yourself known. I wish you would have got Mr. Opinion on that trail, but whatever.
Sandwich King, what you got to say?
All I got to say is, hey, man, appreciate y'all fellas, man, for coming out here doing this with me. I love y'all to death. If I don't tell y'all this right now in front of everybody, I'm telling you now so you can say it and believe it and it's recorded. So I love y'all dudes, man. All love, all day. That's what I'm here for, baby.
All right. Shout out to Brandy for tuning into the show. Everybody else, catch you on the peace. We out. Oh, we not out yet? We out.
We're still